Well, I want to talk about the number one you had with Rudimental just quickly. How did you? How did that collaboration happen? How did it come together?
I worked in a pub and my supervisor Sophie introduced me to her brother who turned out to be peers, and peers, we got to know each other. He started playing keys in my band, and then I lost my job at the pub, and I was just making music, and all I wanted to do was make my music. And living in London by myself, if I didn't have a job I couldn't live there, but Piers' family basically made it happen. They understood that I wanted to push them last 3 months towards getting my record deal and just work on that. And I think me and Piers became brothers when we were living together, and it was amazing. Like, I still feel so close to him. And he introduced me to the other boys because they'd seen me perform an acoustic night at the pub and were into my voice, and they were working on some new projects and ideas. And once we got together and started making music together, I think it was me and Piers that got the vibe. And once I met the other boys, it was great as well. But Not Giving In was wrote in mine and Piers' in the house, in Piers' bedroom, about a close friend of ours. And Feel the Love was wrote in Hackney by Kezi had the idea, and then we all jammed it out in the studio one day together. And you never think we'd make tunes that big, just casually making music together, you know.
So what goes through your mind then when it ends up becoming a number one?
I don't know, man. I mean, I always want more success than I've got. I always want more than something. I get something, I complete my task, I complete my goal, and I'm ready to put another one in place. I'm ready to go again. And that's always the hard thing with my success. I never feel like I've done enough. I always feel like I can do better, and that will lead to bigger consequences in terms of good things happening. But I think the amazing thing about my success when it came first was it was in the UK, my first country where I grew up, and I was so proud to say that was me at the top of the charts. And it was very surreal, but now I've worked very hard, and I've been number one in 16 countries with Love Me Again, and gold record sales in 8. And it's like, I'm ready to set another goal now, and I'm ready to go again with the album. I'm ready to make it happen with the album.
Well, like you mentioned, you have your very own number one now.
Yeah.
Is it difficult then, after having basically 2 songs released that both came in at number one, and then is it difficult to stay grounded?
No, I'm cool, man. I mean, I didn't decide that I wanted it to be number one. I think the public did, and thank you so much. But I just enjoy making music, and I never want. And when people say stay grounded, what is stay grounded? I mean, do they mean walk around acting like a celebrity? He's not staying grounded. I think I'm not really into that whole thing. I think you forget about the music if you concentrate on getting papped outside of clubs and turning up to events where you know you're going to get your picture taken with the next big thing in music and stuff like that. I think if you've got the time to do that, then you're not working hard enough, because right now, like you said, I've had an hour's sleep. I'm travelling a lot. Every second I get to go home, I'm either working on my live set or my music. And I think if people have got time to go out to parties and things like that, in terms of to be a celebrity almost, then they're not working hard enough in my eyes.
Well, you mentioned your work ethic. You produce, you write, you perform, you make your own clothes. I think you write the scripts for the videos as well. You're very busy. Where does this work ethic come from? Is there something
It's probably,
that you attribute it to?
Yeah. I never feel like I'm doing good enough. I want to do everything.
Why not? Why not?
I don't know. I think it's... I don't know. I always think I can do better. If I achieve one thing, then why couldn't I do it, put even more work in and get it that little bit better, you know? And I think it comes from that as a kid, we didn't have money. I had to go out and do the paper round. I had to work a lot, like, to earn money. And I think it came from that. And the other thing is, and people say, oh, you work so hard at what you do, and it must be really hard. It's not. This is easy. I love this. Like, I've got creative ideas coming. I'm going to execute them. I'm going to make sure it happens, because people take the pressure off me and say, no, don't worry, we'll look after that. You've got a lot on your plate. Why? I love it. Like, I'm enjoying this. Like, I see it as, I don't know, even if it lasts 50 years, I'll work this hard every day because I'm scared. I don't want to lose it, and I think working hard. I enjoy working hard. I don't like having a free mind. Free minds aren't good.
Well, you said, I read somewhere that you said you don't like silence because it makes you think too much. Is this where that comes in, where you like to keep busy?
I definitely like to keep busy. I struggle to go to sleep at nights because I am so busy that then when my ideas come in, I'm just sat lying there with all these ideas, and they're amazing when I want to be creative and stuff, but it just adds another job onto my CV almost when I'm too busy. Like right now, if I turn around and, I don't know, I've kind of done everything now, as in terms of designed everything around me, I think, and been a part of it, but I had an idea for jewellery. Then I'd have to start making jewellery because I want to execute it, and I love the idea, and I grow in love with my ideas and stuff, and it is making it hard because it's like, oh, come on, John, stop thinking, because I'm too busy. It's like, but do you know what the most incredible thing about it is? And I sound ridiculous, I sound like a bit of a divvy sat here going, oh yeah, I'm so creative, but the amazing thing is, again, I do enjoy it, and that my label, I mean, very successful record company, have broke a lot of acts and have formulas for doing that, and part of that, have literally put the trust in me and sat back and waited for me and helped me out, and they've almost been my penciling sketches almost, you know. I can envision something on a piece of paper, but I need the pencil to draw it, you know, and they've been great.
Well, is this insistence on perfection or control by yourself, is it difficult as a producer, and because you want to control everything, is it difficult that you end up spending too much time on things?
Nah, I always know the cut-off point. I can always cut off. Like.
And when do you realize you've arrived at this point?
Again, I think it's the working hard thing, I think. I'm a perfectionist, but I stop when I think I've got it right. When I personally think I've got it right, people might not and stuff, but when I think I've got it to a point where I feel happy, that's why I'm doing this, right? Because it makes me happy, and I think as a perfectionist, you've got to stop. You've got to know when to stop. You've got to be a perfectionist about the time to stop, almost, because I think I'd never get anything completed if I didn't. But I think that's just in terms of, again, working hard to get to the point I want to get to, and not. You just got to know how to get there. Like, you've got to work very hard towards getting to that point, and that's why I don't think it takes me forever to get to them points, because I have such a clear vision of what I want, and that's why I do this.
Have you always had, from the time you were young, always knew exactly what you wanted to do, and how, like you said, envisioned how it would come into fruition?
Yeah, massively, I think. Definitely. I've always been one of those kids that designed my own MySpace and took the pictures and came up with a band name and got well into that. So I think I must have always had the idea. I mean, it's hard to remember quite far back, but yeah, I think, yeah, definitely.
Okay, final question. The album's called Tribute, and I've read that this is a tribute to all the people who've got you or helped you to get to where you are now. But there's a teaser on the website that has you mention all these great artists. So I was wondering what the significance of this was.
I think I wanted tribute to be such a bold word that took over everything. I mean, and the whole idea behind it is, if I say to you, for example, who does your tribute go to? It's not my decision who it goes to. I think you could either say your favourite musician, your mum, you know, for example, anybody, I don't know. And that was the same with me. I wanted to thank everybody that's ever inspired my music and for putting great music out so that I can be influenced and do it. It's not me comparing myself to them artists at all. Like, I'm thanking them, and I'd have put all my friends' names on there if I had room to list them. But it just wasn't possible, I think. And it's literally me saying thank you to everybody that's kind of made me who I am almost, you know. Every little thing, every person you meet and every artist you listen to and everything you don't like, you do like, and everyone that upsets you or pleases you, they all take a massive influence on who you to become. And I think to become me, I think it takes a massive thank you to say to them people that have done that for me. And it might just sound like a really obvious thing now, you kind of listen to me saying that because that happens to everybody, right? But why not? I want to say it, you know.
Okay. Well, thank you for your time.
Thank you very much, man. Cheers, Dave.